friends, so I'm about to sit down and edit a video, and I realized that in the chaos of being in a rush, I never done an intro. I just jumped straight into making the recipe. So today we're going to share something that I just kind of threw together. We had some candy bars, I wanted some cookies, and I figured we would make something and call it Monster Mash Cookies. That way I done a lot of Halloween candy and made it into cookie form. So we're just going to jump in here and I'm going to share that with you. I forgot to do a intro, so I'm doing it really quick before I edit so that I can get it out and not just jump straight into a video like it was going to be doing. So we got our oven preheating. We're going to go ahead and just get the cookie base going here. It's just a standard chocolate chip cookie base. I'll write it out down below what I typically do. I do change it up. I do a Jello cookies quite often, do these quite often, do just random things I find on the internet, but I'll write it down below if I can remember. I'll try to remember. So we need 2 cups of sugar, 1 brown sugar, and 1 granulated, or what I call white sugar, because it is what it is. And get this nice and creamy. Downside of it being cooler is my butter don't soften as quickly, so it's still a little hard, even though I've had it out for like 2 hours now. But that's okay. We're just gonna get it out of here, and then I'm gonna probably just cover it and turn it on high and let it do its business, so it don't throw its business all over my kitchen. And it'll be all right. If you can see down here, it's coming along. Perfect. So I don't know how long I let that go, 5-6 minutes. I went and got a load of laundry started, but now we're going to what are we gonna do? We're gonna switch out yet? Oh, we'll wait. We'll go ahead and whisk in the eggs, and then we'll change to the paddle when we add in the flour and whatnot. Our 2 eggs, look, aren't they beautiful? Our chickens are going through a molt, and they should be coming out of it any time now, but the only chickens we have laying right now are 2 of our teenagers, and they lay every single day. They have laid every single day since they started laying. The brown egg, that chicken, Torito, has been laying for almost, it's 2.5 weeks straight. And then I think Betty started a few days later. We think it's Betty that's laying it. Anyway, so it's good that they're not laying a ton right now, because we're not going through a lot of eggs. Recently, I think it was right before Torito started laying. I think it was right before. I had to go through and ended up having to toss like over 2 dozen eggs, and it was kind of sad, and they probably would have been good still, but I'm really picky about eggs. I'm picky about meat too, but meat and eggs are just something I don't play with, and so if they floated, they went into the trash. And yeah, we threw a lot away. So yeah, but they do need to start picking back up, because it's holiday baking season is upon us, and so I use a lot of eggs during that time. But yeah, for now we've only got 2 layers, but they're doing pretty good. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get this mixed up. I think I'm gonna go ahead and add my salt too. I just add, I'll just say a teaspoon of salt. Look how nice and fluffy that is. Fixing our aesthetics over here, because our little jars was empty. I don't know how aesthetic it is though. I made a mess, but it's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and switch out our attachments here. Took me forever to find this one. One of the downsides of having kiddos help you do chores and whatnot is they don't put stuff where it goes. But, you know, whatever. I'm not going to complain about it to them because I'm thankful for the help, even if I pay them. That's just, it is what it is. So we only need baking soda for this. We don't need baking powder. We need a teaspoon of baking soda. Need to wipe off the top because that's annoying. Okay. Then we need 2.5 cups of flour. So I'm gonna get that added in, and then the magic will happen. One, two. We're gonna play the switcheroo game. And 2.5. Okay, so that is perfect. It looks beautiful. Delicious. Alright, is that a chunk of brown sugar? Yeah. I'll go ahead and sit you out here somewhere. It would have been fine if I left it, but since I've seen it, I couldn't leave it. Okay, so this is the important step, but to John, this would be a sin. We're not going to tell him. I mean, he'll eat them and not complain, and he'll enjoy them. But he says that candy bars are best in their truest form, which means just straight out of the pack, not mixed into stuff. Well, he don't know what happiness is. But we're going to take all 3 of these and cut them up into little pieces. This is what's going to make it the Monster Mash, because it's a mashup of candy bars. Some of these, it's the first time I've ever seen the mini peanut butter M&Ms, and I was excited and had to buy them, and we've already been eating them. But we're going to add some of those. Then we'll put them on the stove. It's already preheated. And then we're also going to add some Oreos, because what's Halloween without Oreos? What's any time of year without Oreos? Again, we've eaten most of these. So we're just going to get these opened up. Of course, it's not going to stay together now. Kind of want them to stay in their true form, I guess you could say. The Reese cup, obviously that's not going to work. I'm going to toss this in the cookies. I guess I shouldn't have said toss it in the cookies, because that sounds, you know, kind of gross. But we're going to toss it in the batter anyway. So there is the Kit Kat. We'll go ahead and do these since we're already over here. Just, we're going to say about 1/2 cup if you want a measurement. You can just go to your heart is happy. We don't judge. Should have froze the Reese cup. Would have been great if I had like the tiny ones, the unwrapped ones. I could have just put them in their hole, but we don't have those. I already had these candy bars in the cabinet. Okay, now a few of these, the Hershey's, we're just going to sit to the side here. We'll garnish the top with some of those. The Reese cup and the Hershey, what we didn't set to the side. Anyways. Alright, and now the Oreos. I set a few of them to the side as well, but and then, of course, what is a cookie without chocolate chips? So we're going to add about 1/2 cup. Make your heart happy, whatever. Then mix it up. Then we want to make them a little extra festive. So I'm going to get out these eyeballs, because y'all know how we feel about them. We might put a couple on top of the cookies to make it a little cuter, but we're going to add some of these Halloween sprinkles. It would look really good on it, especially with it being monster cookies. Just a little bit more sprinkles. and give it another mix. So we pulled out the big guns for this because it's gonna make a lot. I thought about freezing half of it, but we'll see. Probably not. Do you see how much spray I just put on that? I'm always super cautious with my first go of cookies because some cookies spread more than others. And it's not a big deal if they touch, especially if it's just for us. But I just like it if they don't better. So I'm just always extra cautious my first go. And then I can put more in accordingly to how much they spread and whatnot. So now we're going to add to the aesthetic factor. Just go in with a couple of little sprinkles on the very top. And I don't want to get them all over the pan, that's why I'm being so slow about it. So since I have some poured out into this little cup, I might use 1 or 2 of them as well. I don't really love these sprinkles. They're hard, but they're cute. So okay, so we got sprinkles on. We're gonna go through and add some Oreos here and there, some pieces of Hershey chocolate here and there, M&Ms. Just, this is unnecessary, but makes it cuter, so we're doing it. Okay, so the sprinkles, the fancy ones, completely melted. That was the only skulls we had. So if you want to add the cutesy sprinkles to the top, make sure you do that after they cook. Okay, okay. So I'll put 12 more cookies in the oven. The rest of this we're going to put into the freezer because I think 24 cookies will be plenty. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how I freeze it. Now you can shape it and whatnot, and I do that sometimes. However, I just prefer to do it this way. Especially if I do want to add stuff to the top whenever it comes time to cook them. It's just, you take it out, let it thaw for a few minutes, and then you slice it up. You can add whatever you want to on top. So we just lay it out here kind of in a roll. Don't want to waste none of it. And then we just take it, kind of form it. Anyways, what I was saying, I had to hide from the mailman like a mature adult because I don't have my curtains up. I just take it and form it into, I think like, you know how you can buy the sugar cookie dough and chocolate chip cookie dough already like this? Form it to that same shape and then wrap it up nicely for this one. And then we're gonna add one more. Just to help with the freezer burn and whatnot. Not that it'll last long enough to freezer burn. And then this way I can, if I decide I want to do half of it, I can just cut it in half and then rewrap it and put it back in the freezer and whatnot. It just gives me more options and 2 birds, 1 stone, almost kind of things. Like 1.5 birds, 1 stone, because you still got to bake it later. And that's going to be it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed hanging out with us. As always, remember to show grace, be content, and live blessed. Bye, friends.